This video is brought to you by WPForms. In this video, you'll learn how to create your own website, and we'll use Elementor to design the site so you can get up and running quickly. Hey everyone, I'm Christina with WP Beginner, where we teach all about WordPress so you can grow your website or create your website and reach your audience. And today we're going to show you how to do it step by step from the very beginning all the way through to the end. So if you're ready, let's dive in. When you're building a website, it's very similar to what's happening when you build a house. You have the land that you need to use to put the house on. That's the same as the hosting provider. The hosting provider has servers that all of your files and folders will go on. Next, you have an address, and that's so people know where to find you. And the address is your domain name or your web address. You want to start building your website, and your website is your home. That's what houses all of your files, all of your images, the color structure, the way that it looks, the functionality of it via the plugins. Finally, you have your mailbox, which is your email address, and that's how people can contact you. And all of these come together to make up your whole website on the web. Now, at WP Beginner, we recommend using Bluehost as your hosting provider. They have great customer support. They are one of the oldest, most established hosting companies out there. They're officially recommended by the WordPress.org organization, and WP Beginner users can get 60% off and a free domain by using our discount code. To get that discount, just go to www.wpbeginner.com/refer/Bluehost. Hit enter, and it'll take you to that page. We also have a link below that you can use as well. From here, just click on the big green Get Started button, and it'll take you to the Select Your Plan page. You can choose your plan here. The biggest difference between these two is with this one, it's very basic, and you're only allowed one website. Whereas with this one, if you have web addresses or multiple websites that you want to set up, then this might be the best one for you. After you've chosen which setup you want, go ahead and sign up with a new domain name that you want since it comes free, and click Next. From here, you want to go ahead and create your account by filling in all of this information. And then down here, you want to verify the package information. I would say that your domain privacy you don't need. We normally just turn that off. Things like backup site and site locker, there are a lot of great plugins and features available within WordPress, so you don't need that either. Once you fill out all the information, you see the amount that's being discounted. Now just fill in your payment information and you'll have your hosting account set up. Now that we've signed up, we'll get a congratulations screen, and we'll just need to click on the next screen where we can create our password. This password will be used to manage our hosting account. Once you create the password, they will start setting up the account for you. One of the great things about Bluehost is now they've made installing WordPress even easier. From here, you can select a theme that you might like to go with your site. Since I'll be walking you through the whole process, let's go ahead and skip this step. And now they automatically set up WordPress for you. You no longer have to go into your Bluehost account and install WordPress and go through that process. Once we get everything set up, you can click Start Building, and we'll be taken to the back end of our WordPress dashboard where we can start customizing it. Once you log into your dashboard, it might look something like this, where you have a lot of notifications and things like that. What we want to do first is kind of clean everything up. There'll be some plugins that we'll install, but for now, I'll just walk you through how you can remove everything so you can start with a clean slate first. So we'll head over to our plugins area. And when we do that, we can scroll down all the way down till we see all of the plugins, and we can select them all and click Deactivate. And you want to click on Apply. So we're deactivating all of the plugins first. Then we need to select them all again, and then click Delete and Apply. And go ahead and say yes to we're sure that we want to remove all of those plugins. There will be a few of these that we will reinstall, but I want to show you that process later. So right now we just want to get with a clean slate to start our whole process. And you'll see once they're deleted, you see them going away, and you see the whole process being updated in real time. Also, if you see something like a WordPress update, go ahead and click Update Now. And now you have a screen on your dashboard like this. And now we can move on. Okay, now we can start building it, but really quickly, I want to show you that this is what it looks like in action right now. It's just a simple coming soon page on the front end. But if you notice up here, it says not secure. And that's because we don't have an SSL certificate installed on there. Making sure that your site has an SSL certificate installed and activated does a couple of things. Of course, it is more secure for your readers or the people who come to your website. It's also a slight ranking factor with Google because it tells Google that you are a secure site. In the past, you used to have to pay like $60 to $150 to get a secure certificate installed on your site. But nowadays, companies like Let's Encrypt have made this process super easy with our hosting providers like Bluehost. What you can do is go back into your dashboard, go down to security, and then you can ask for a Let's Encrypt certificate. Might take a little bit of time for them to set that up, but once they do, then we can go in and set it up for ourselves. Once you go there, you can request a certificate and you'll see that it is pending and that they're working on it. As you can see, it can take a little bit of time for them to get that set up. Once that is done and set up, the next thing we can do is go to our WordPress dashboard. You'll want to log in with the credentials that you saved before. From our dashboard, go over to Plugins, Add New, and we can type in SSL. What we're looking for is this plugin, and it's called Really Simple SSL. What we want to do is we want to install that, and then we also want to activate it. Once we activate it, you can see that it's active in the plugins area, and then we can go to settings to set it up. From here, you see some detections. We can see that it's not enabled, but the SSL certificate is detected on our site. So we can go ahead and activate the SSL. Great. Now that it's activated, you see up here, we have HTTPS and everything is active. And we also have the little padlock connected. So that's a good start. And now we can move on to designing the rest of our site. Okay, now that everything's been installed, let's go ahead and take a look and see what the site looks like. I'm just going to open it up in a new tab. And this is our site. This is an actual WordPress site. This is what we have. You see the one sample post and we see some archives, some widgets down here. And this is the default theme for 2020 right now. It's the 2020 theme. And you see our blog area over here. It looks okay. It is technically a site, but we do need to work on the look and the feel of it. And we're going to do that by installing a new theme. So let's do that next. So we'll close out of this. And we can come over to Appearance and we'll go to Themes. And this is where all of your themes are. And we only have one installed. That's why it's really big on the screen and everything. And it even says current theme. So let's go ahead and change it. If you go to Add New, then you'll be taken to an area where all of the themes for WordPress are stored. Basically, these are all of the themes that WordPress has tested, making sure that they're okay, and you can get them on here. A lot of these are free. Some of them are freemium. Everything through the WordPress repository that you see here are free, but a lot of them might have a paid upgrade if you want to do that. And you can search by featured. So those are the ones that they're showcasing right now. You can also search by popular. This is based on downloads. You see that most popular ones are the 2017, 2019. Those are all themes that have been installed with WordPress. So that's why they're so popular. And then if you scroll down, you have some others that are not by WordPress.org, but they're also very popular. And this is actually the one we're going to install. But if you wanted to, you could just go through here and take a look and find whatever theme you want to. But I want to walk you through this process because it makes it super easy and simple. So we're going to install the Astra theme. Don't worry about the layout that you see right here and think that it's not what you want, because I'll show you how they make it even easier to install something and to design something for you. So now this one is the active theme that we have. You can see down here that it's active. We could even right click up here, open in a new tab just to see what it looks like. Still kind of bland, and yet we're going to fix that right now. The cool thing about Astra is they have a plugin that lets you see several different layouts, several different themes, and you can pick the one that you want. And where all the other themes come in that Astra does a much better job of is oftentimes you'll see a demo of a site and of a theme that you want, and you'll go out and install it. And then the problem is the theme that you install on your site doesn't look anything like the demo that you just saw and the reason why you picked it. And so Astra's done something to close that gap and make it what you install is what you see, is what you get on your site. So let's go to plugins, add new. We're going to look for the starter template pack. And so if you type in starter template and scroll down, you see by Brainstorm Force, that's what we want, the starter template element, and we can install this. And we'll go ahead and activate it as well. And now we see the starter template here, and you can either come down here to say see library, or if you ever want to come back to it, you can go to appearance, starter templates to pick and choose which one you want. Now from here, they're asking, well, what type of page builder are you going to use? And for this one, since we're working with Elementor, we want to pick Elementor as our page builder. And from here, you see all of these choices that you can choose from. And up here, if you decide you want to change it, you could go under any of the others to do that here. These are, because it's through Elementor, there are some paid and there are some free. So you can also pick and choose these. There are several great looking themes that are free. So don't worry about if you have to pay for one. And then you could just scroll through here and see what kind of website are you building? And is there one that's closely, the layout and the look is closely related to what you want? So just give yourself a little bit of time to go through here and take a look and see which one you want. And then once you pick the one you want, for instance, we're going to do the outdoor adventure. It's the one we use a lot, and it's just got a really good beginning theme that I like. So I'm going to click import complete site because it's going to import all of these pages, all of these layouts, this color scheme and the images, so we can work with it from there. So let's go ahead and click import full site. You see if you had imported a previous one, you could delete that. And it also tells you some other customizing settings that it'll import. It also import the widgets that you see, some install required plugins that it's going to import. So we're going to import Elementor, and they use WPForms Lite, which is a contact form plugin that will be installed so that you'll have a contact form setup, and then they'll import a little bit of content that will help you see how your site will look, and then you'll want to change that when the time comes. So this will come in and import everything, and then once it's finished, we can go in and do our customizations. Great. Now that everything is imported, we can view site, and you see right off the bat, it's way different than it was. It looks like a complete site. Like if you were outdoor adventure, you could just put this on the web and you're done. Your time is done. You can start going out and doing the adventure. But even though it looks really good, there are some changes that you'll want to make so that you can make it exactly like you want for your site. So we can do that next. Okay, now we can make some changes two different ways. First, we can go to customize from the front end. We can click on customize, and this will allow us to make some customizations from the layout of the site. Once it takes us to this area, we see all these little pencil marks where once we click on it, it opens up the area that we can customize over on the left. So from here, we're going to customize the logo. We can either remove it or change the image. The starter pack brought in all of these images that you can use, or you can go out and if you already have your own logo, you can upload that here. And also, because of this theme, it lets you do different logos for Retina devices as well. And you can choose to change the width of this. If you don't like what you did, just find these little back to default arrows and I'll put everything back to how it was. Going down, you also have some site title colors, background colors that you can change all right here. Again, this is theme specific. So if you're working on a different theme, just see where all of these items go for you as well. Once you make any changes that you want, nothing has actually been changed. We're simply getting a preview of what it will look like. And once you're happy with that, go ahead and click the publish button. And then whatever changes you did make will now be live on your site. So I'm going to exit out of this. And then one other way that you can make changes is with Elementor. So this is our homepage, and there's just a few changes that we want to make. So we're going to click edit with Elementor, and this will allow us to make some changes to our homepage. What it'll do is Elementor will open up and give us the ability to drag and drop and make adjustments here. And now you see this area.
Anywhere that you see a little blue icon or little plus icons that allow you to bring new things in. When you hover over anything, if you see a little pencil mark, that'll allow you to edit that area. You see all of these edit areas that we have. And then up at the top of any area, you might see this little guy where it'll allow you to add a section. You can edit it. And when you click on edit, it'll bring this section up. You can also delete a section here. And you see as I'm scrolling through, there are different sections that we could do that with as well. For instance, I'm not really happy with this area, so I'm going to go ahead and just delete this section here. And then that will just pull up this other area that I'm pretty happy with. We can also drag widgets here if we want. So I can click on that. What structure do I want it to be? I'm going to make it one full width. You can click on the plus icon, and then here you have all of these areas that you can do. Maybe we can do a video, and when you put in the video, it'll bring in a YouTube link, and then you can change that with whatever YouTube video you want to showcase. You can also choose to autoplay it, mute it, loop it, things like that. The default is pretty good. You probably want to allow them to play it for themselves. The other area is, say we want to change these buttons. So I'm going to click on button, and the type, you can choose how to change it. You can also change the text area and add the link where you want it to go. Give you some link options. If it's not to you, if you want to open it up in a new window, you can click that here. If it's to, say, an affiliate site or somewhere else that you don't want to have a follow link to, you can add no follow here. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to do that with this button as well. So we're going to click on that and say read more. Add that information. If we want it to open a new tab, we can do that. Perfect. Now from here, you can, instead of doing a new section, we can add a template of some sort. So you could do either block template, and the blocks will be different blocks just of data that you think would look good here. For instance, now this is perfect if we want to do an FAQ because people have a lot of questions about our site. Let's go ahead and insert that into the area. So let's go ahead and say yeah. With working with some of the template libraries, Elementor will want you to create a free personal account. So you want to go ahead and get started to do that. Once you log in, you want to connect your site, and then you'll be able to insert the templates or the blocks. Great. Once the FAQ is in, we can go in and fill out this information specific to our website. But now we have an FAQ right on our page. And then you see all of these, we can add background overlays, background colors, background types of any sort that we want to really change up and make it look a little bit different, a little bit more enticing. You want to play with these background colors and styles to make sure it looks fine. Change the opacity so it's not too much. There are a ton of ways that you can adjust your site using Elementor. The best way to get through it is simply to just play with the different features and see what works best for you. When we click on here, over on the left, we have the basic items that are super simple to bring in. If we're wanting somebody to find us on Google Maps, we can do that here. And say over here, we want to bring in a heading, and we can drag that over here as well. And then I want to move that over here. So let's change that up. Something like that. So you can just go through and make all the changes that you need to using Elementor for your website. And then once you're done, come all the way down here and make sure you click update. It's very similar to the customizer that nothing has actually been updated until you click update. And then once that is finished, then we can go to our website and see it in action, and we'll see everything that is actually live on our site. So scrolling through, we have that FAQ that we added. We have this area that we added and the read more, and because we didn't need that, we added a video. So in just a few minutes, you're able to make really nice changes to your website to make it look exactly how you want. Okay, designing your site, it seems like it's a never-ending project, but there is a point where you want to stop designing and then start creating the content or creating the information on your site. Now is a good time to do that. So we've done the basic changing up of our site or theme and designing it how we want. Now let's focus in on the content. So if we go over to our dashboard And let's go to pages. I'm going to show you all the pages that are on our site. Now, these are all the pages that have been installed because of the Astra Starter template, which is perfect. It installed all of these that we can work on, and we can even open up our site in a new tab and we'll see the menu area. If there are ones that you don't like, then I'll show you how you can change those, adjust them, and say if you don't have projects, but maybe you have products, I can show you how you can do that. But let's go over to the pages area. And from here, you just want to choose which pages you need for your website and what you need to do with them. The sample page was a page that was created when WordPress was installed. We can eliminate that. So I'm going to hover over it and click trash. And so that will now go into my trash area. We have the privacy policy page that is in draft mode. Let's go ahead and edit this. And by default, WordPress does a really good job of creating privacy policy pages for you so that you can set it up for your website. Pretty much every website needs to have this. And you can even view their privacy policy guide that will show you how to do it. But this brings in a lot of the typical information that comes over when websites are set up and created. So you could go in and add the information here on how you deal with third parties, data, and things like that. But once you're happy with that, you can click publish, and then that will be a live page on your site, and then we'll have to decide where to put that. So we're done with that one. And then the other ones you want to work on are like your about page. You want to click edit. And because you installed Elementor, you'll need to edit all of this with Elementor. So we can click edit with Elementor. And really all we need to do is go in and edit these pages with the information that we need to show on this. So who we are, you can change the mission that you have or all of this information that you have just by hovering over them. And you can highlight all of this, you know, and write out whatever it is that you need and go through your core values. If you don't like any of this, you can hover over any of these items to change them, or right click and edit this item. So you want to get all of your pages that you want. Like for projects, we don't have projects, so we're going to trash that one, and we're happy with that. Then we also, under contact, so we do want to have a contact page. Luckily, Astra already installed WPForms, which is the easiest to use drag and drop form builder out there. And what I love about WPForms is you can start with the light, and then once you're ready to grow your business or automate your whole back-end paper process, you can go to their pro or higher. But we'll go into all forms and I'll show you what this form looks like. This was automatically created when Astra imported everything. So let's go in and edit it to make sure it has all of the details that you want. So I clicked on edit. This is the form name. You can go in and change that here. And that's just so you know what it is. You can change the submit button information here, and then let's go back over to fields, and it's a very nice and simple form for you. You can change things here if you want. For instance, I like the simple, but if you prefer first and last, you can do that here. You can also choose to make these required, and when you have it required, then they are required to fill that information out. Once you have the form look how you want, let's go over to settings to make sure that the notifications look good. By default, when you click on notifications, the email address or where these contact form emails go is connected to the admin email when you first installed WordPress. That's the admin email on your WordPress site. You can keep it like that. It's probably your email, but if you have a business or you want it to go to a different email, you can type that in like this here for the send to. If you have multiple people that you need to send it to, then you can do that as well. Just separate it by a comma and then you're good to go. The email subject line will always say this information. So you maybe want to change that, and you can show smart tags. These are the fields in the form that might help you with changing everything up. So for instance, you could do new entry field, and then that way it will be something different every time. Every time you get an email, it'll be their name in the new entry. So you'll know all the different emails that are coming in. The from name, that's from them, and the from email is just default to the admin email. I would leave that blank, or I would leave that as it is. Perfect. Now that we're happy with that, let's go ahead and click Save Changes, and we'll go to confirmation real quick to show you what that looks like. So when they submit it, they will automatically get this message, and it will scroll to the confirmation message so they know that you got it or that it's on its way. You can edit this if you want. And then from the dropdown, you can actually either show a different page or even redirect them to, say, a thank you page or something like that. But we're pretty happy with the message and the confirmation right there. And so that is the contact form that we have. And I'm going to exit out of here, and we're going to go to the contact page so that we can see it, what it looks like. So I'm going to click on Edit with Elementor. And this is the Contact Us page that was already created. You can fill this out, change your address. But back over here, this is the form that we've created, and this is what it's coming over and looking like. But if we wanted to, we can click on the little edit button. And if we had other forms, we could change this short code here. So that's our contact page. And then going up here, let's go ahead and change this a little bit. Like, we don't want the take action, so we're going to change up our menu area real quick. Get back to our dashboard, and to change up our menu, let's go to Appearance, Menus. And because we deleted that one without removing it, we see a little error here. So let's go ahead and click on the little drop down and click Remove, and that will remove it out. Now there are 4 that are here, and we want to left click, drag services up. We want it to be just after home. So that's good. And you can see you could actually even indent that. And when you indent that, that's going to be a drop down. So about would be a drop down of service. Just to let you know, if you had that, you could do that here. Save menu. And now that error went away as well. And then we can go to our site, click refresh. And we see that we've changed that up, and the take action is still there. That's actually under customize. So let's go to customize, and I'm going to click on this, and I want to click on the little edit feature. And this is where last item in menu is a button. We're going to say none because we don't want that, but you could have that here. And now we just have those 4 items. So we like the way that that looks. So let's go ahead and click publish. Okay, all this looks really good. And the next thing I want to show you are plugins. We've kind of played with plugins a little bit by installing the SSL certificate and by the Astra theme already installing a couple of plugins for us. But I want to walk you through how to install a plugin and like what they do. So basically plugins are just apps. They let your site do things your site can't normally do. For instance, you can install like the WPForms plugin that is to install a contact form. The WordPress site out of the box can't do a contact form easily without doing code, so that works really well. If you're wanting to do something like an e-commerce store or a shop, you can do a plugin for that. Plugins are there's just thousands and thousands of them. And many of them are free. Some of them are freemium, meaning the initial features of them are free, just like with WPForms. But if you want to extend the functionality of it and make it even more robust, then you can do that. One of the plugins I want to show you is Monster Insights, because you want to have Google Analytics installed on your site so that you know how your site is doing. You want to see the traffic. You want to see where's the traffic coming from. Do you have a lot of Pinterest traffic? Do you have a lot of Facebook traffic? Which pages are your most popular pages? Things like that. Monster Insights can do many of those items. And just like with WPForms, they're actually from the same company. Monster Insights has a light version that is very simple for you to connect your Google Analytics to your site. And you can watch this video where I walk you through step by step on how to set up Google Analytics for your site if you haven't done that already. But you'll want to set up Monster Insights to connect your site with everything. In just a few clicks, you'll have Monster Insights connected to your website, and then you can see what the data looks like. Now, because you're just installing it for the first time, if you are just installing it for the first time, it'll take a little while before you can start seeing data on your site, because it will only track when people start coming to your site. So if you are doing a brand new website, you probably don't have too much going on. By default, it'll automatically set some things up for you for affiliate tracking, for download tracking and things like that. and we'll save and continue. They'll also give you some recommended items that you'll have to upgrade to do that. So you could also, the WPForms plugin that we have, you could track submissions and conversions to see how well your quote forms are converting and things like that. So we'll save and continue for this if you're not ready for that. And now we have everything installed. So now we can go to reports to see how our site is doing. Again, this is the free version. From here, you can see your top countries, your top referrals. So you could reach out to them and see how everything is going. See if you can set up a partnership of some sort. Your top pages. So which ones are your most popular pages? So maybe write more content on that because your audience seems to like that. Great. Now that you have your website up and running, make sure you watch this video next where I'll walk you through the top plugins that you'll want to make sure that you have on your website. And thanks for watching.